Roderick Strong is all elite after making a shocking AEW debut last night on Dynamite. Speaking of Dynamite, the Four Pillars could still be involved in a four-way match at Double or Nothing for the AEW World Championship if one team wins a tag team match next week on AEW Dynamite. Tony Khan made a big announcement last night on Dynamite. Stay tuned for what that was. Orange Cassidy retains his international championship against Bandido. Trinity Fatu, former WWE superstar Naomi, has signed reportedly with Impact Wrestling. Details on that and when she's going to make her debut. AEW All Access covered all the drama this week on TBS involving Tay Mello and Ruby Soho, the Young Bucks on their return to Chicago after Brawl Out. Britt Baker opens up on the heat in the women's division as well, the drama involved in that. Will Ospreay has revealed when his New Japan Pro Wrestling contract is set to expire, and Dark Side of the Ring reveals what subjects they're going to cover in Season 4. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Roderick Strong. This was absolutely shocking. I don't think many people saw this coming. There was a shocking debut on last night's AEW Dynamite as a former WWE star popped up for an emotional reunion. After Adam Cole, Bebe, came out to the ring to call out Chris Jericho, he instead got the Ocho via a video screen. While Jericho said he wouldn't be coming to the ring to answer Cole's challenge, he was happy to send the Jericho Appreciation Society. While the JAS came to the ring to assault Adam Cole, the beatdown attempted to be broken up by Orange Cassidy and Bandido, who ran out to try and even the odds. However, when the assault continued, things were temporarily halted when unfamiliar entrance music hit. Roderick Strong then made his debut in AEW as he ran out to save Adam Cole. The segment ended with the pair cementing their longtime friendship in AEW canon with an in-ring hug. After the segment, AEW President Tony Khan tweeted to announce that Roderick Strong was officially all elite. Strong's in-ring debut will take place next week on Dynamite. We'll get into details on that in just a second. But Tony Khan tweeted out, quote, "It's official, Roderick Strong is all elite. Thank you everyone watching Wednesday Night Dynamite live on TBS right now." Of course, this was during the show. Now, when it comes to details about this, because as I mentioned, this took a lot of people by surprise because most people assumed he was still under contract with WWE. So AEW shocked the wrestling world on Wednesday, really, when Roderick Strong's surprise debut happened in Sunrise, Florida. He had requested his WWE release last May and hadn't been seen on WWE programming since August, and as of mid-March was reportedly still under contract to World Wrestling Entertainment. So for him to show up on Dynamite to run in and save Adam Cole from the Jericho Appreciation Society was something almost nobody saw coming. Very quickly, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported some details to try and help give some context as to what was a very left field debut. The most recent information that Fightful had was that the AEW talents they spoke to were, quote, pleasantly surprised that Strong had signed. On the WWE side of things, the newest information was that 2K Games had been told not to include Strong in the WWE 2K23 video game. That or other talents had never been updated on his status, and he had not been at the Performance Center in quite some time, even though he was fully cleared to wrestle. The report also noted that Strong's run in WWE started a downward slide when Paul Triple H Levesque lost power in NXT, as he was behind Strong's push as the center of the revitalized Cruiserweight division. Of course, Strong, he's been wrestling since 2000. He's a 23 veteran in the industry. As for his AEW in-ring debut, as I mentioned, that has been announced. Strong's debut match was announced later on in the episode for next week's May 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite. Strong will team alongside Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, and Bandido to take on the Jericho Appreciation Society. That's Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager. So Roderick Strong, he's all elite, and he's going to be making his in-ring debut next week. What did you think of the surprise debut? What did you think of the signing? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, the story regarding the Four Pillars in All Elite Wrestling continues, and it centers around the AEW World Championship. Sammy Guevara will officially be challenging MJF for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing on the pay-per-view on May 28, but he might not be the only competitor that the Salt of the Earth has to worry about. On the April 26 edition of Dynamite, Guevara secured his spot in the match after defeating Darby Allin via disqualification in the finals of the Four Pillars tournament, with a little help from his wife Tay Mello and his new best friend MJF. Melo distracted the referee as MJF tossed Allen's signature skateboard over to him, while Guevara pretended to be hit by it and feigned injury. The referee then disqualified Allen when he saw the scene and awarded Guevara the victory. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who was eliminated from the tournament by Guevara last week, came in to the aid of Allen after MJF and Guevara launched a post-match beatdown. Commentator Tony Schiavone then received a message through his headset from AEW President Tony Khan. He announced that Darby Allin would join forces with Jungle Boy Jack Perry to face MJF and Guevara in a tag team match, with the catch being if Perry and Allin win, then the bout at the T-Mobile Arena becomes a Pillars four-way match for the AEW World Championship. Of course, AEW's four pillars have been at odds with one another for weeks, with Guevara, Allin, and Perry making their intentions of challenging for the company's top prize crystal clear. MJF has been the title holder since dethroning Jon Moxley at the Full Gear 2022 pay-per-view. So it looks like seemingly we are going to be getting that four-way match that many people thought indeed was going to happen. Tony Khan was on AEW Dynamite last night and made a big announcement regarding Double or Nothing and the future of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. Appearing on last night's AEW Dynamite, Tony Khan appeared on the screen to make a big announcement. Khan appeared to announce that the opening ceremonies of the 2023 Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament will happen at AEW's upcoming pay-per-view Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is set to take place on Sunday, May 28, 2023. What was interesting about this, of course, last year the finals took place at Double or Nothing, but this year instead it's going to be the beginnings that happen at Double or Nothing. Khan also announced that matches in the tournament will also take place at the New Japan/AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view on June 25th, 2023. Finally, Khan announced that the finals of the tournament will take place in Owen's hometown of Calgary, Alberta, Canada on July 15, which is an interesting tale in itself. Why? Because July 15th is a Saturday. Now, being a Saturday, of course, that would make sense should the rumors of a yet-to-be-announced Saturday show expected to start on June 17th, 2023. So what we could see is on June 17th, 2023, the premiere episode of AEW Collision on TNT, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. CM Punk is the centerpiece of that show, and then just under a month later, the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament will take place during Collision as well. So we don't really know competitors or anything about that just yet, but seemingly the Owen Hart Foundation, not really surprisingly, is going to be taking place throughout Canada as AEW has their big tour of Canada this summer. Orange Cassidy once again retained his international championship last night on AEW Dynamite. A hard-fought match for the AEW International Championship kicked off last night's episode of Dynamite on TBS. In the opening match of the night, AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy had a thrilling match with Bandido, with big spots throughout the duo put on an enjoyable show, despite the match finish staying in line with the typical opening title bout against Orange Cassidy on Dynamite. Orange Cassidy retained the International Championship. After the match in a backstage segment, Adam Cole vowed to call out Chris Jericho, and either he would come out to the ring or Cole would find him himself backstage. So this kind of planted the seed, certainly, for what was going to happen later on in the evening, wasn't it? Involving Bandido, Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, etc. Let's switch gears and talk about Impact Wrestling briefly, because a big story, and of course Impact's one of AEW's wrestling partners in the United States. When Mercedes Moné made her return to wrestling at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 17 event back in January, she made her first appearance in the wrestling world since her and Naomi walked out of the May 16, 2022 episode of Monday Night Raw. While Mercedes has wrestled numerous times, Trinity Fatu has yet to return to the ring, but that could be all set to change very, very soon. Per PW Insider Elite, Trinity is set to join Impact Wrestling. It is not known when she will debut for the company, but Impact have been teasing a major surprise for the upcoming television tapings in Chicago, which would likely be her. WWE, they were reportedly confident at one point that they would be able to re-sign Naomi, but they have not made any main roster signings or new hires since Vince McMahon returned to the company in January. So it looks like Trinity Fatu is about to debut in Impact Wrestling. What are your thoughts on that? Is that the right move for her? Are you surprised to see or hear that she's going to be going to Impact? Let me know your thoughts about that, as always, in the comment section below. Now, last night following AEW Dynamite, there was a new episode of AEW All Access, and there was plenty of drama to discuss. On last night's episode of AEW All Access, Tay Mello opened up about her beef behind the scenes with Ruby Soho, revealing that their discord actually spilled over from their time in WWE. Mello said that she was of the belief that they were good. However, after there was an accident, Mello heard otherwise, with Tay Mello noting that Ruby Soho believed that she broke her nose on purpose. She was still regretful about the injury, but denied it was intentional. With Melo noting her plan to be professional, she also acknowledged she couldn't do anything about it other than move forward. In a confessional with Ruby Soho, she described her recovery as grueling and saying that she's known Tay for a really long time, but we've been clear we don't have to like each other, we just have to be professional. Pledging to do what's best for the locker room, Soho also hoped to put things with Melo aside and work together smoothly. Later in the episode, the two wrestlers spoke to settle their issues, and while the conversation overall was amicable, Soho did seek to clarify that Melo didn't injure her on purpose. Melo was saddened by the accusation, noting, quote, "It was literally an accident." Again, a lot of drama. It was literally an accident, she said. With Ruby Soho saying that she had also shared with Guevara that if she had a problem, she wasn't going to bring it to Twitter or the locker room. She would come straight to Melo personally. The pair parted ways. While the duo seemed to squash their beef, Soho was overheard noting, "Awkward," while Melo felt like there wasn't more she could say other than hoping for the best and being professional. However, the end of the episode teased some future drama, noting that Soho may have delivered a receipt to Melo in her run-in. So it looks like we may see more when it comes to this issue between Ruby Soho and Tay Melo as we get through the season of AEW All Access. Now, also on last night's show, the Young Bucks returned to Chicago after the Brawl Out incident was featured, and it provided some really fascinating television, it must said. Last night's edition of AEW All Access continued to skirt the details of the now infamous Brawl Out after AEW All Out, while still marking their significance. The episode featuring the Young Bucks facing trepidation about AEW Dynamite hailing from Chicago, Illinois. They didn't know quite what to expect. Quote, "It would be really nice if people liked us like they used to," Nick Jackson noted before the match, although expecting the Chicago crowd to be less than friendly towards the trio. AEW All Access did not address any significance as to why Chicago would be hostile towards the Young Bucks, nor has the events occurring after All Out ever been directly referenced. Noting that when their music hit, there were thunderous boos, the Young Bucks were aware that the crowd was not pleased upon their entrance. "People are literally chanting, 'F the Young Bucks, F the Elite,'" Matt Jackson said, although able to distinguish that Matt Jackson, the character, wouldn't care, although he himself does. "The sooner you get to Death Triangle, the better, man," Tony Khan could be heard saying in an apparent reference to cutting the Elite's entrance tight. "We want to get back to where we were previously, which is to be champions," Nick said, resolved to move forward. With Matt Jackson noting that while the storyline is mapped out in advance, if the crowds continue to be against the Elite, the story could change, saying, quote, "That's the beautiful thing about professional wrestling, and what we do is that your audience decide what happens next." So again, it was interesting to see behind the scenes and the fact that Tony Khan was like, quick, get their entrance over quick, let's go to the Elite. Also on All Access, the drama involving Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa continues. It's probably been one of the biggest storylines throughout this season of AEW All Access, hasn't it? In a scene featuring Thunder Rosa attempting to explore what movesets wouldn't cause her discomfort, she was dismayed to find that she felt discomfort from doing even the most basic of wrestling moves. Later in the episode, the women of AEW were seen ahead of Dynamite preparing to do a pre-taped segment, but with some confusion around what was coming later on in the show. Being informed that in segment 6 there would be a big announcement made by Renee Paquette regarding the AEW Women's Division, there was mystery through the episode as to what the announcement may be. When the announcement was revealed that Thunder Rosa would be relinquishing the AEW Women's World Championship, the women were shown watching the announcement with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, showing the most jubilance. Sharing after the scene, Baker said, "We're relieved that we're done with the interim bullshit. The fact that we've dropped that, we're moving on, is a huge sigh of relief." In a later interview scene, however, Baker shared she would still be willing to work with Thunder Rosa, despite the fact the two do not get along. She said, quote, "I'm not stupid. I know very much what makes money, and drama makes money, and people are very aware that her and I don't like each other. I know Tony knows that. If that means that I have to be the company woman and wrestler again, I'll do it." Later on in the episode, Britt Baker revealed that during her time as AEW Women's World Champion, she felt a lot of hostility from the other girls in the back and told a sad story about feeling completely buried by her peers. She said, quote, "When I was AEW Women's World Champion, it was hard because I had a lot of girls in the back who really came for me. There was a meeting at one point accusing me of faking having broken my wrist. I didn't see it coming," which is quite interesting, nevertheless, because that's what she said about Thunder Rosa, that she faked her back injury, and now she's complaining that people complain about her faking a broken wrist. Sharing that while most of the women have since apologized to her for their actions, she felt some level of PTSD from the events, and it made her leery of the spotlight of being champion anytime soon. With Tony Schiavone encouraging Britt that she shouldn't let the negative experience detract her from pursuing the AEW Women's World Championship again, Baker still wasn't convinced. So What did you make of all that? If you've watched the show, let me know your thoughts, because I'd love to know. It certainly is fascinating viewing every single week when it comes to Britt Baker, certainly. Let's talk about Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, has revealed when his contract with the promotion is set to expire. Former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay has confirmed that his contract with New Japan expires next year. With Ospreay currently one of New Japan's most popular stars, it's been speculated that several promotions would be interested in signing him if he left the Japanese company. Speaking with DAZN, Ospreay revealed that his current New Japan deal is set to expire in February 2024. Anticipating interest, Ospreay said, quote, "My contract with New Japan is up next February, so from that point, who's not going to want this kid who's dedicated to being a hard worker and wanting to put on the best quality of matches?" Jay White was the last, of course, major New Japan exit, with the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion leaving the company in February and signing with AEW in April. Ospreay has appeared for AEW on several occasions, most recently wrestling for the company in August of last year as part of the AEW Trios title tournament. He's also recently expressed an interest in wrestling at All In at Wembley Stadium in London later this year as well. Finally, Dark Side of the Ring is returning later on this year, and we now know the subjects for Season 4. The topics that will be covered in the 10 episodes of Dark Side of the Ring Season 4 have now been revealed. A new trailer has dropped for the 4th season of the popular show, featuring the likes of Jim Ross, Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley and Bret Hart's interview segments. At the end of the ad, 10 subjects were confirmed for the upcoming series. The 10 subjects are as follows: Chris Candido and Tammy, that being Tammy Sitch, that being the former Sunny, Magnum TA, Adrian Adonis, Doink the Clown, Junkyard Dog, Marty Jannetty, Bam Bam Bigelow, Abdullah the Butcher, Bash at the Beats 2000, it's going to be interesting. I wonder if we got a Vince Russo appearance in that, and the Graham family as well. AEW's Jim Ross previously confirmed that he had worked with Dark Side of the Ring on an episode centered on the Junkyard Dog, which has now been officially announced. There had also been previously confirmation that an episode would focus on Adrian Adonis. The Season 4 premiere will air on May 30 at 10 p.m. on Vice TV. So I'm very much looking forward to that. It's an excellent series, and we'll cover it once the stuff does air on television. But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.